Pokemon Run and Bun is the hardest Pokemon ROM hack ever made. It is a hack of Pokemon Emerald with Generation 8 mechanics, new Pokemon up to Legends Arceus, permanent battle effects, and custom AI that feels much more like playing against a real person. I have a habit of playing games that torture me and lower my self-esteem, so I decided to hardcore Nuzlocke it. Here's how that went. You get the Sinnoh starters in this game, and I went with Turtwig because he gets Shell Armor when he evolves, which makes you immune to critical hits, aka Nuzlocker's worst nightmare. After Deodorant, of course. The first encounters were good this run, with the standouts being Surskit, because Masquerain is amazing for Brawly, Solandia with Encore when it evolves, and Weedle, which evolves into Beedrill and gets the Mega Evolution after beating Flannery, where it becomes like a top 3 Pokemon the whole game. There are a lot of tough trainer battles to get through, but the first very tough fight is to the Museum Grunts. You have to do these two back to back with the same team. The Skrelp and Marini have Black Sludge plus Protect for healing. The Whirlipede is also annoying since it has Speed Boost Rollout plus Rocky Helmet, but my team is too strong and we got out deathless. After this, you can get a rare candy. Rare candies are limited resources that let you level up past the fixed level cap in this game. We use it on Surskit because Masquerain has Intimidate and an amazing typing for Brawly with Bug Flying, times for resisting his fighting type moves. You can also get an electric type, and mine is Mareep, whose ability Static gives you a 50-50 chance to get Togu to Maru in Granite Cave. Togi is the best Pokemon in early game, with Fake Out plus Iron Barbs, and a broken typing and Electric Steel. It would be so hype if I hit it. I feel like I could do anything with this run, and I could win on the second streamed attempt and oh, I got an Onix instead. Run and Bun changes the Emerald Overworld, so now Brawly is the first gym leader, and he is insane. I swear beating him feels like a 50-50 most of the time. Just one inconvenient crit is the difference between victory and a reset. Everything on this team is a monster except for the Poliwhirl. The Cupfu is inner focus, so it is immune to Intimidate, plus an Papa Berry, so he heals up to full if you get him to 25% or lower. The Lopunny is stab 140 base power retaliate after you KO Pokemon, and an eject button. The Scraggy is an Eviolite, Power Punch, and Rest with Shed Skin, so sometimes he just heals to full for free. The Hitmontop has ridiculous bulk and unique Pursuit AI. And the Combuskin has Speed Boost, which is always rough to play around. This fight looks impossible, but I never give up. Masquerain lost 2 speed types to the Cubfu, but still beat it, and quick attack the Lopunny to eject button it out. Solid Rock Tortuga then clutched up against the Combuskin, which is a relief because he's the hardest thing to fight on Turtwig runs. Next I pivoted between Onix and Masquerain to intimidate the Hitmontop and the Lopunny, so Shalom or Grottle could take both of them down. Beedrill then soloed the Poliwhirl, leaving only the Scraggy. Okay, to be honest, my counter for this was really bad. The plan was for Stravia to dodge some crits and endeavor the Scraggy at such low HP that I could quick attack to then KO it. This did not work because he went for Power Up Punch on turn 2. Power Up Punch can be clicked by the AI over the higher damage Rock Tomb since it buffs attack by 1 stage, and I did not account for this. Like, at all. I had to screech him with Onix and then risk my Staravia on a 1 in 3 to win Deathless. Well, that sucks. Staravia died, but Beedrill clutched up and we got out of Brawly. That does hurt because a fully evolved Staraptor goes crazy, but it doesn't matter right now. I had my first gym badge. The next gym leader is Roxanne, and there isn't much to talk about this split. It's only 10 fights, so it goes by much quicker than the 2-hour-long Brawly split. The only fight worth mentioning before Roxanne is this annoying double battle that can be a real problem for some boxes. This split is really about the encounters. In the forest, I got Big P, arguably the worst Pokemon in the whole game. But next I get a Tyrogue, which is incredible for Roxanne, except mine is 0 attack and would become Inner Focus Hitmonchan, which is much worse than Iron Fist. I also catch a Clamperl and take the Rustboro Grass for another 50-50 chance at Togi, and miss again. Part Scales are other limited resources that can give your Pokemon new moves or maximize their IVs, and I decided to use one on Tyrogue to get Hitmonlee. A 0 attack Inner Focus Hitmonchan makes Roxanne much riskier than a 31 attack Hitmonlee and is worse for the rest of the game. Roxanne's team is tough, but not as bad as Brawly's. Yes, that is a Zygarde. Every gym leader in this game has a legendary to fight. Despite that, this fight is mainly a box check and dodging some bad luck, namely the Zygarde critting your counter to it, and Lunatone getting an Ancient Power boost, where it then wipes your whole team with stored power. I cannot express how much I hate this stupid Lunatone. I swear it's a bigger problem than the Zygarde. It boosted on me the last 2 times I had done Roxanne before this attempt, so I was not exactly excited for this fight. Hitmonlee double kicked to immediately kill the Bisharp and bypass its Focus Sash. This baited in Caracosta for Zen Headbutt, which Grottle took, and then killed while dodging an ancient power boost in the process. On the Demon Zygarde, Hunto dodged a crit from 1000 arrows and took it down with an Ice Fang. Hitmonlee then switched in on Aurorus and one-shot it. Zarina and Grottle fought the Soul Rock, but Grottle got flinched before taking it down, which made Lunatone 50-50 to Icy Wind, or Ancient Power Hariyama on the switch. It was a 5% chance for him to boost and end the whole run before it's even taken off. A 5% chance to lose everything. Just Icy Wind. Yes! Woo. Okay, we're alive. Hariyama then beat the Lunatone, and we won Deathless. We now get some important evolutions. The Galar Meowth becomes a Battle Armor Berserker with a plus defense nature and great IVs. Steel is arguably the best typing in Nuzlocke, so combining that with Battle Armor and Fake Out makes her a super strong Pokemon. Salandit evolves into Salazzle, which is also very useful as a Fire Poison type and gets access to Encore via a Heart Scale. These two immediately show their use in this Sandstorm fight. Berserker is able to 1v1 a crazy Sandrush Stoutland, and Salazzle takes down the Clefable with obnoxious type coverage. In Verdanturf Town, I get a Nidorino, and in Rustboro Tunnel, I decide to Static again for an Electric type. In this case, Alolan Geodude. This has a 50% chance to have Magnapole, which would give me a 50% chance to attract Steel types, like Togi in upcoming routes. I'm 25% to get what I want, but it's so good that I go for it. And we finally hit the Static, only to get Rocket Geodude. But I then immediately run into a shiny Teddiursa. Very interesting luck. Before the next boss fight, there are some very tough trainers to get through. During one fight, I misplayed by thinking that any fire type move dethalls you from freeze. I was wrong. I then followed that up by forgetting that my Onix has -1 defense because of weak armor, and it dies. Oops. The hardest trainer fight is easily the last one, the infamous Emolga double battle. You want to kill the Emolga as soon as possible because it buffs its partners with discharge and also deals more damage the longer it's alive due to holding the metronome item. Guts Hariyama has to dodge a crit Hydro Pump, but does kill the Emolga after one discharge. Ordinary trainers are so hard in this game that sometimes you just have to play the slot machines. Oh, and this kind nurse in the Pokemon Center helps me burn my Hariyama before fights. Wait, why is she helping me do this? I'm literally burning my Pokemon. Isn't she supposed to heal Pokemon? Is this abuse? Why is she working at this hospital? You can't even say it's because she knows about Guts Hariyama, since let's just say I might have done this before with someone else. Oh god, what is wrong with this nurse? Someone call the police, please. Chelle is an added boss fight to this game, and she is brutal. Just look at this crazy team. The biggest threats are the Last Resort Delcatty that hits like a truck this early in the game, the Togekiss with Super Luck and Scope Lens, meaning its moves are 50% to crit you, except Air Cutter, which is 100%. Oh, that's nice. And then we get to my friend Slowbro Galar. Quick Claw plus Quick Draw gives him a 44% chance to move first, and all his attacking moves have really unpleasant secondary effects. This and the Togekiss are RNG nightmares that have ended many runs. The Slowbro can also heal himself, and there are few checks to him at this point in the game due to his amazing typing and physical bulk. That is, unless you have a Battle Armor Berserker who walls him. My team was actually kinda crazy for this fight, and I thought it would be easy, but man, was I wrong. My pre-damaged Hariyama is able to beat the Lapras, so now Rhydon sees fast kill on it and cannot set up Stealth Rocks. Seadra then one-shots the Eviolite Rhydon. Then the Togekiss comes out and things get a little spicy. So little damage. What? What the f- So I forgot that Togekiss can Air Cutter Seadra there because he knows it always crits. I thought he would Grass Knot and I could Encore him with Salazzle. I can't do that anymore, so I need to go Ampharos and hope he can beat the Togekiss. Ampharos is only 70% chance to 2 KO the Togekiss, but he lands a huge Thunder Punch crit and only gets crit one turn. Double crit would have ended me. Ampharos then beats Togekiss, but the Delcatty is really shaky since Salazzle took that Air Cutter. She's dead to most rolls of crit Fake Out, but I have to risk it because Berserker HP is too important for the last two Pokemon. We dodge the crit and Encore it into Fake Out, which repeatedly fails and allows us to KO it without taking a last resort. The Vespiquen comes out, and Ampharos was supposed to check it, but he's too low HP, so Berserker has to take over. We get a clutch Iron Head flinch and beat it. The last Pokemon is Slowbro, and it's a showdown I've been waiting for. The plan is Berserker has super effective payback, which does double the damage when the opponent moves before you do. I actually wanted him to get Quick Claw / Quick Draw so I could take out half his HP. Pretty clever, right? Playing into the RNG like that? But the universe had a different destiny for me. We pay back. It's unfortunate, it's fine. Whirlpool, that sucks, but it's okay. Payback. What? What is happening? $38, okay. Come on. Dude, heal yourself, please. Me. Can I switch? Am I out? So I have two options here. Dude, he has to go first. What the what? There is no way! There is no way that just happened. Please, oh my god. Huge, please. Dude, I so lose. In all those turns, it just never moved first, despite being almost 50% to do so. Things were looking dire. Most of my team was almost dead, and could not do enough damage to the Slowbro, who would just kill them if they got an attack off. Especially if it decided to move first. I sent out Tortuga, who was only on this team to bait out HP Grass on Vespi Queen before that went sideways. Tortuga chipped Slowbro, but the damage output just wasn't there. I had to sack Seadra so Berserker could get back in. He was my last hope. I'm going for Ironhead. You have got to be kidding me, man. Zen Headbutt, don't find the roll that kills me. Don't do it. Don't flinch, don't flinch, don't flinch. Okay. Come on. Do it. Yes! F this fight. Okay. We survived, but barely. I definitely misplayed that fight, but you cannot tell me that Slowbro RNG was fair. We now get access to Citrus Berries and level up. Our friends Grotto and Nidorino evolve into Torterra and Nidoking, both of whom will be pivotal for Wattson. The electric gym trainers aren't too hard with these guys, and before you know it, we're at the 3rd gym leader. Wattson is a little scary, but I actually think he's the easiest boss fight in early game, at least with Torterra, who can take down a lot of his team, especially since I scaled Synthesis. Starting with this fight, all gym leaders have a Mega Evolution, in this case, the Mega Ampharos. The one thing that always stresses me out in this fight is the Lantern with leftovers, since I never have the best counters to it, like Ludi and Technician Roserade. Oh, and the Magnezone has a 4% chance to explode, but honestly, that's just how this game is at this point. The Scaled Hitmonlee proves his worth by using Fake Out on the Magnezone to break its sturdy and then beating it before it can even attack. Nidoking then dodges a crit on Zeraora and defeats a legendary by himself. Ampharos is able to hold its own against the Rotom Fan, and out comes the Lantern. Hariyama gets paralyzed, but still hits through to knock off the annoying leftovers, ironically doing more damage thanks to Guts Boost. I'm not dead to crit, so I stay in rather than switch to Hitmonlee, and Hariyama avoids getting fully paralyzed again to take down the Lantern. On the Electros, Zarina negates its coil attack boost with Chop Kick before Torterra finishes it off. Finally, Ampharos arrives and Mega Evolves, but a healthy Torterra with Cherry Berry can 1v1 it, winning us the fight. Told you it wasn't that bad. That was my 4th time doing Wattson, and I've yet to use a single Pokemon on him. With the new level cap, some more evolutions come online. Caracosta, Walrein, and Alolan Golem. The cycling road trainers are the hardest yet, with frustrating teams to plan around. I've lost key Pokemon to them before. This Jump Left trainer takes me a full hour and a half to plan for because of its annoying Spore Swords Dance combo. I needed to route the fight in a specific way so he couldn't Swords Dance when I switched in Berserker. With my Chesto Berry for Spore, I get off an Ironhead, and even though he puts me to sleep the next turn, he can't set up anymore due to being dead to Slow Kill, and I'm able to take it down. At the end of Cycling Road as our rival was different teams depending on what starter you picked. Most people say the Torterra team is the hardest, and of course, that's the one we're facing. The fight is in permanent Psychic terrain thanks to the Indeedee, meaning priority moves do not work. That's really problematic when you consider this team is packing a Speed Boost Blaziken and Focus Sash Weavile. I actually think this is my least favorite fight in early game, besides Brawly, because of the RNG you need to dodge and how it limits the player's tools. The Indeedee outspeeds and one-shots most Pokemon you have at this point, and your only consistent saving grace is if it doesn't see kill on you and you have physical and special moves, it has like an 88% chance each turn to just set up screens, which you can disable with Brick Break and eventually kill him. But if he expanding forces you, sometimes that's just a wipe. The White Herb Speed Boost Blaziken is a demon with crazy coverage, and you almost always have to dodge a crit on it, or else you can also lose. The Kingdra can also RNG you with, well, every move to be honest. And the Weavile is just so fast and powerful. Can you even get a Pokemon at this point that outspeeds and checks it? Needless to say, I was terrified going into this fight. We lead Berserker and plan to Brick Break him 3 times, which has a 69% chance of working without us taking damage. We can actually take 1 Expanding Force, but it makes the rest of the fight much shakier if we do. Just please, don't attack me. Yes, okay, good. Crit. Yes? Come on. Let's go! Okay. That's really good. The Blaziken hits the field, and this is Big P's finest moment. It's his first time coming out of the box. Finally, this encounter will be worth it. Okay. We can still get an Effect Spore with this, that's really good. Effect Spore, Effect Spore? No. Man, he couldn't even get off an Effect Spore. So I sack Parasect there because Huntail is my Blaziken counter and he can't live 2 hits. He can't even live a crit close combat, but I need him to. Okay. We gotta dive here. He's always CCing me. Yeah. Come on. Don't crit. Don't crit. Yes. Yes. That's so good. Oh man, I thought that was a crit. That's just a really, really fucking high roll. But it's fine. He can't hit through dive. Yep. Okay. What a hero. First the Zygarde and now the Blaziken. Kingdra then goes for random move on Huntail, and I reward the goat by risking a random move on Torterra. We luck out with an Iron Head and attack, but I do not like him Dragon Dancing. Torterra thankfully dodges a Liquidation Defense drop and gets a second attack off. On the next turn, he doesn't go for a Scale Shot, which would have killed me if it 5-hit. The Zarina comes out and is actually the easiest part of the fight since Salazzle can Encore him into low kick and then KO. The Focus Sash Weavile is very scary, but Solid Rock Carracosta is a pretty strong check, and after taking some chippage, we KO it. At the very end is the Alchemy, who we lock into Dazzling Gleam with Salazzle Encore. My 0 special attack bites me though, because we min-roll the 2 Venoshocks, so the third is not guaranteed to kill as Encore ends. I Encore him again, and then finish the job with Berserker. That one as well as I can hope for, but still look at the aftermath. It's such a terrifying fight, even with a good box like mine. With the rival fight conquered, the last boss of early game is on the horizon. Our father Norman, who is too busy sitting in an empty room 5 minutes away from his house to ever be a parent. We have some more trainer battles until then. Pokefan Miguel has a Swords Dance Mimikyu, who killed my starter by rolling a 1 in 8 the last time I fought him. But this time, I'm prepared. I know he can't set up on me if I show him a fast 2-hit KO. So I give Salazzle the Wise Glasses, and he Shadow Sneaks me as I break the disguise and then KO him with Berserker. Norman's gym trainers can also be tough, but my bulky box is able to beat them pretty risk-free. There are only 2 encounters left before Norman. In Altering Cave, I static again for a Magnemite, who is also 50-50 to be Magnapole. Once again, I get it, and then I check its ability. The The second Magnapole Pokemon that failed to be Magnapole this run. I really need Togi for Norman, so I take the 117 grass encounter in a last ditch effort, only to get this trash. Guess it just wasn't meant to be. Norman's team is really strong. He's probably the hardest fight in early game, especially if you don't have a Torterra. Most teams kinda just have to ball on at least one of his Pokemon. The Meloetta has Serene Grace and becomes a fighting type after Relic Song. The Mega Pidgeot has No Guard Hurricane and few safe counters to it, but the star of his team is the Chinchino, aka the reason I've been obsessed with getting Togi. It has Skill Link with the King's Rock, so he has a 41% chance to flinch you with every move except Triple Axle. There aren't many Pokemon that can safely beat this, but Togi is one of them with its Iron Barbs. Ironically, Inner Focus Hitmonchan was another counter. I don't have either, so I just can't need Berserker to have a better chance at surviving the flinch hacks. This fight is the ultimate gatekeeper to the rest of the game, and I'm likely to lose, but I didn't come this far to give up. I bring my 6 best Pokemon, and we go for it. Hariyama takes out Porygon's Eviolite and then gets paralyzed again on the second Thunder Wave. But this guy never gets fully paralyzed, and he beats the Porygon without a lick of damage on him. My Torterra's max speed IV, so we're able to outspeed and beat the huge power Azu. Chinchino comes out, and I need to go Berserker now. We have Magneton for backup if I die, but that makes pivoting later in the fight much worse. I fake him out and then pray. This Berserker wasn't a Togi, but he has been the hero this run, and I am so thankful for everything he has given me. Especially on Chelle. And I just need him to clutch for me one last time. We hit through, and because of the candy and an insane Brick Break max roll, I always kill a fake out now. So we go into Magneton, and then go back to Berserker to defeat this broken Pokemon. I'm so shocked I actually forgot to move the pixel ruler on my screen. I did not expect to get that lucky. The job isn't done yet since Diggersby comes out, and after some pivots, I get Torterra in. We are able to beat him, but I am very low HP on the Meloetta. Berserker takes a Relic Song, as Meloetta transforms into the Pirouette form. Masquerain comes in, and I scary face the Meloetta to drop his speed, but there's a problem. I didn't realize Pirouette form is so faster than Torterra, even with half speed. I originally planned on giving Masquerain a chance to save herself by potentially flinching the Meloetta with Air Slash, but I can't do that now, since he can outspeed and kill Torterra with some rolls the next turn. I need to Scary Face again, and say goodbye to an old friend. Torterra now outspeeds and can heal up as Meloetta lowers his own defenses with close combats before I triumph. The last Pokemon is Pidgeot, and I play it safe by sacking my incredible Hariyama, so Ampharos is full HP. We always get off a Thunder Wave and are able to discharge him. We still have Magneton in the back to deal Pidgeot, so the final question is, does Ampharos survive? We die to some high rolls and all crits. Ampharos lives and we defeat the Pidgeot, giving us a 2-death Norman and victory over early game. I was really happy to win on stream, since this is only my second time beating this fight. I'm still playing this attempt on Twitch, so follow me there to see more. You might even be able to see my face, if you're into that for some reason. And subscribe if you liked the video. I had a blast making this, and plan to make more in the future.